but that's because I'm pulling up Notre Dame's football schedule.
It's all good. All right, we are officially live now.
I have a frozen face. I better get back. I better get back quick.
Well, nobody's on yet.
They're gonna notice. They're gonna notice there's a problem. I hear words, but I don't see lips moving.
Yeah. Well, as far as they know, it could just be like a picture of you. Well, now you're moving again.
I would like to see a picture of me mid chewing. That would be my main picture.
That'd be awesome.
I made a couple videos today that I got to get uploaded. I haven't made any videos in a while. One was a very short political video, and then another one was a preview of the North Carolina game that we'll be playing.
Sweet. Can't wait to see him.
Let me tell you, if Syracuse can run the ball, I think we might give ourselves a chance. With it being game one, we don't know which team will come out more prepared, maybe. If we can run the ball, I forget if Aaron Service is still – I don't know if he graduated or not, but when we moved him out to tackle, when we moved the freshman Vettorello to center, we got much better results on the running game specifically. But we'll need improvement from the quarterback position, and we'll need to be able to run the ball. If we can run the ball, and I don't think we'll be able to match up with them on the perimeter or on defense because we lost a couple of our best players from the line. But if we can keep the ball away from them, we might have a chance.
Yeah, no, it's just like another perfect example of that is Navy, in all the service academies that run these option offenses. I mean, they have if the drive is successful and they finish with a touchdown or a field goal, whatever, you're running 9-10 minutes off the clock there. So yeah, it's not going to give your opponent a lot of time.
Nobody can do that quite like Navy, but let me tell you, if we can run the football successfully, because we're kind of an up-tempo team, but if we can run the ball successfully and run the screen and run the underneath and screen plays and stuff like that, get Tommy DeVito confidence early in the game, we might be able to hang in there. I'm not going to say win. That's probably a bit of a stretch, but we can hang in there. Give me a fourth quarter game. Give me a fourth quarter game. Give me a chance.
That'd be awesome if they were able to pull that off. But I'll tell you one thing. When I played, our strategy from our coach was always this. He would always tell us, gentlemen, 4 yards every single play. That's our goal. 4 yards every single play. Because, obviously, and that makes sense. Do the math. 1st and 10 becomes 2nd and 6. 3rd and 2. Get the first down. Keep it going. And we didn't run a triple option offense. We ran something that's called the wing T. So it's kind of similar. It's like wishbone sometimes. You basically have 3 running backs plus the quarterback.
Yeah, ran a similar offense because when he was a head coach at varsity level.
Yeah, and that's what we would do is we would try to get 4 yards every single play and just keep the clock moving. Go on 7-8 minute. Sometimes 9-minute drives. And then another part of the strategy from our coach is always this. No matter what happens, every drive has to end with some kind of kick, whether it be a field goal attempt, an extra point, or a punt. Basically, that's his fancy way of saying don't turn the ball over.
Yes. If you don't beat yourself, you make the other team beat you, then you have a chance.
Yes. The only problem, though, with that kind of offense, and even the triple option as well, is, I'll give you a perfect example of this. My high school alma mater last season, we were down like I want to say we were down like 24-7 in the third quarter. And so we get the ball back. We go on a nice 8-minute drive, and we cut the deficit to 10, 24-14. Well, that's great and all that, but you killed 9 minutes off the clock when you should be preserving time. So that's my point with that kind of offense is it's great when you're in control, but it's a offense that's not very good when you're trailing.
That's true.
Because yeah, that's great. But like I said, that's great that you scored that we scored the touchdown there, but we killed 8 minutes off the clock. A lot of precious time that we need to have.
You know, if you're trailing, if you get down by probably a couple scores, it's probably pretty close to over at that point. Unless you've practiced an up tempo version of the offense. But I don't know. That's kind of, I don't know.
Well, I found out from a friend of mine who's a very very close to the situation, and I'm actually excited about this. But my high school alma mater, they're finally going to an RPO offense and dropping the wing T.
My dad ran he loved the belly play, and the concept of the belly play is to pick up. If you're picking up 5 yards a pop, then you're in good shape.
Oh, we ran a ton of those. 33 belly, 43 belly, all sorts of them. And I just noticed we have some comments here. Fair-minded, he has 2 grown men spending their Friday nights like this. Nice. He wants me to let him join in and teach you Trump supporters a lesson, and he wants to put us in our place.
I didn't know we were. I didn't know we weren't even talking about politics, my man.
Well, this fair-minded, I recognize him. He's been following us for the last couple of streams now.
Fair-minded. Just to be a little bit fair-minded here, we weren't talking about politics at all. We were actually talking about high school football. And,
yeah, we've been talking about sports from the start.
We've said of just about everything there is to say about politics. But I mean, if you genuinely would like to join and school me, I'm really not going to have much fight back tonight. I really didn't come on to talk about this. I'm kind of burnt out, to be honest. So if you'd like to come on and school us, go ahead.
Oh, and Cowboys Longhorns, what's up, dude? Nice to see you.
He caught the last stream. All right, we'll give him a fair shake. Let's put him on. Go ahead.
You know what's funny is if I bring him on, I could always play with his mic and mute him if I wanted to.
No, let's see what he has to say. I'll see if I have the energy to say anything back. I'm actually going to go into the bedroom.
All right, cool, man. Do what you got to do. Yeah, Cowboys Longhorns. That makes 2 of us. I'm excited about it, and I just hope we can finish the season too. No problems, any of that.
Hopefully, he's fair-minded about it.
Oh, how these people come up with some of these names.
He's going to put us in our place. I got to get a better light. This is terrible. This is not a good situation. You know what? Let me turn this on.
Cowboys Longhorns.
Here we go. Beautiful. This should be good. This should be good enough, right?
Yeah, I can see it just fine. Are you talking about the lighting?
Yep.
Yeah, it looks fine, dude. I can see it perfectly.
All right, I'm still waiting for Fair-Minded to join.
Yeah, I posted the link, so. But of course, if it is,
you heard me say that I was burnt out. I mean, because I have been at this politic thing now for whatever arguments he's going to present, I guarantee you, I've already seen them over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So I'm just a broken record at this point.
Yeah, I know.
Not much he's going to say to me that I haven't already heard. But, I mean, I don't know.
Well, it's funny, he seeing him on the stream, every time for the last 2 or 3 streams that I've seen him, I always figured he was on our side from how he was commenting.
Maybe he's joking. Who knows?
Yeah.
Two grown men spending their Friday nights like this. Yeah, we're sitting here doing a live stream. What else are we supposed to be doing?
Well, myself,
if you're such a bleeding heart liberal, wouldn't you rather us be doing this rather than going out and infecting the world with COVID?
Well, besides, I kind of have to somewhat stay at home anyway. Like I told you off camera, because I have to quarantine because I've told everybody this. My brother and we're roommates. We both live here. He got exposed to somebody at his workplace who has COVID-19, and he got tested. And right now we're just waiting to see what the results are. But he's not. I seriously think he's negative though, because he hasn't had anything, like none of the symptoms.
All right. So anyway, since we've got Craig, we've got Cowboys, Longhorns.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Don't think we've been ignoring you, but yeah, absolutely right, Craig. Go Irish, beat Duke. I'm excited too, dude. And
how many viewers we got? How many?
2. We got 2 right now. Well, sometimes that's not always accurate. I mean, we got Craig here. We got Cowboys, Longhorn.
That means someone's fair-minded must have left after he literally just said that he wanted to school us. I guess when I said I wasn't about to fight back really with much.
To be fair, sometimes this counter isn't always accurate. Like there's more people on here than what you think.
If you're in here, say something fair-minded, because if you get in here, I'll give you the time of day. I'll respond, but I'll repeat myself. It's no problem.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, just and keep in mind too, like there's like a 15-second delay between us and the commenters here. Something like that. I don't know.
I was thinking when we get maybe a couple more viewers, we could do our little preview thing, but I don't know. They can go back and watch it again, can't they?
Yeah, they can. These I think you can search these on my channel. Like when you go into the person's main channel, there's videos. I think there's regular uploaded videos, and then you can watch old live streams too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you can. I can go back and see the live streams I've been on. But anyway, if you want to see the more detailed, because I kind of did a whole breakdown thing of Notre Dame and their opponent, because I'm an ACC guy, so I had the knowledge on these other teams to do that. So I'm not going to go quite as ham all over that as I did on the last one, but I will give a breakdown of each game and why I think Notre Dame's going to win, if it needs a breakdown. So we have here first, we have Duke. That should be a win. I mean, I know the last time Notre Dame played Duke, it was in 2016, and it didn't go so well, but
we played them last year.
Oh, you did. That's right.
Yeah, we beat them like 38-7.
Yeah, Duke's not a team that has any athletes that would really scare me. If this was basketball, this would be a whole different story, but it's not. So, Cutcliffe, a very good coach, though. You can't count him out, but it's just not. The talent discrepancies are so far apart between Duke and Notre Dame. I'm gonna have to give it to. I'm going to have to give it to Notre Dame. That's 1-0. And then up next, you have South Florida at home. South Florida, that should be a win. Didn't that team go like 4-8 last year? Like they were really off. They had Billy Taggart there at one point, and they were doing really well. And then they also had Charlie Strong. I don't know if he's still there or if he did his magic Charlie Strong disappearing act. He always seems to do wherever he goes.
Yeah.
We got a chat here. Johnny Prince. The Orange Blob is going from the White House to a federal prison cell in January.
For what?
I'll be tuning in for when that happens. Anyway.
See, that's why I love having the name of this, naming the live stream the title that I did, Deplorables of the Round Table, because I knew it would attract this guy back.
Yeah, fair-minded. If that's you, we left you a link, dude. So get in here.
Yeah, I never banned the guy. I never banned that account.
The balls to come join, because eventually you're gonna piss me off, and I'm gonna have to respond to you. So.
Oh, then we got another guy here called the Don. So that's definitely a play or what you call it, like a mafia thing. Pay the Don.
If Notre Dame loses to Duke, will you do it? No, probably not.
No. Well, Eric, it wouldn't be you who does the raging; it'd be me. But
I know. I was speaking on your behalf. I've been watching your videos. No, you probably won't.
Believe it or not,
he'll rage after the game. He'll rage after the game. He'll go rage first, and then he'll record the video.
Johnny Prince says tax fraud and corrupting the election.
Yeah, listen. If you don't, I don't want to hear another word from you until you join the live stream. Join the live stream, pussy. Do it.
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 streams, I've given these people the link and they don't join.
Join the stream, you pussies. Do it. We've put a link out there.
Here it is right now.
Click on it.
No, I don't. I want to see. This is actually
tax fraud. Guess what? Just about every single politician you support commits tax fraud. They're making billions off political favors. All of them.
He is also suggesting
Johnny Prince, what you're saying right there is completely false. Misinformation. Suggesting people vote twice. No, he's not suggesting anyone votes twice. They have electronic vote counters to where if you vote by mail and they confirm that you voted and you go vote in person, it's not going to let you vote. And in states where they don't have that in effect, I forgot exactly what he said, but there's a video that I don't know if is there a way I can link that? Like there's where the lady talks about what the electronic voting, the whole voting thing. She addresses it because a reporter asks a question. I literally watched this video today, and she completely shut down the reporter, and saying the same thing you just said.
Well, you know something? The Don here has a good point on something.
Johnny Prince, go get some real information and come back to me. In the words of Jim Calhoun, get some facts and come back and see me. Get some facts and come back and see me.
There you go. And you know, it's funny. Like I said, I'm giving these guys the link to come join us, and they don't do it. Especially if it's who the funny thing is, especially if it's who I think it is that's running these accounts. You know, he's always, people are always telling me to free him. Well, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's why he won't get it. Johnny Prince, come on, get on the stream. Come on, please.
But you know something? I wanted to finish saying though.
Twice, Johnny Prince, that's a clown statement. Complete clown statement. Come on, gotta have something better than that.
I gotta say though, the Don here has a pretty good point on something, regardless of what side of the spectrum he's on. He says, where'd it go?
Yeah, Don, you're right. Yeah,
he said, remember, people said for years Obama was going to prison, laughing my ass off. Well, yeah, when a president goes to prison, I'll believe that when I see it.
Yeah, and to be honest, all politicians that I guarantee you Johnny Prince supports, they're all out there making billions off political favors. They're all doing it. And you know what? And I'm not here to act like I defend socialism, but you know what? Just about all of them are doing it, especially big corporations. They're all doing socialism. Why do you think that places like Lowe's would be open? but like say a place that provided the same service that happened to be a small business, same business as Lowe's, they can't be open. They're all making money off. They're all got their hands in the same cookie jar. They're all making money off of it, and they're all making money behind the scenes.
Yeah, exactly.
Off of taxpayer dollars. Taxes you and I pay, they're all making money off of it. So,
oh shit.
So
no, not that.
All of them. You're not going to convince me that some of them aren't doing. No, they're all doing it. All right, I'm not even going to sit here and say Trump is innocent. No way. You think there's no way that you get up as high as he has in business without seriously people. And there's proof that he's been stepping on people and he's done some shady shit. That's for sure. And I've never defended any of his business ventures. But
yeah, Cowboys Longhorn says same people. Yeah, we know that for sure. And then he says no president will ever go to prison ever, even if they deserve to, just because of their status. Absolutely.
Yeah. Just ask Hillary Clinton. If you buy off the right people, everything will go okay for you.
Oh, absolutely.
Not even just Hillary Clinton. That's actually kind of unfair.
Well, that's what we're trying to do, Don. I mean, the last several live streams that we've done, when these people show up, I've given them the link to come join us, and they don't do it. So it just shows I'm testing their courage, and it just goes to show that when they don't join after I post the link on the comment section here, they have no courage.
Well, believe it or not, I'm actually pretty civil, but you know what? When he came at me with that thing about people voting twice, come on. I mean, if you're gonna come at me with that, I'm gonna give you that response. I'm sorry. It's nothing personal. I didn't personally attack him. I'm not gonna get personal with him. But if I think he came at me with a stupid statement, I'm gonna tell him I think that statement's completely false, and it's just stuff that disgraceful reporters are trying to put out there. And he's right. Yeah. When he gets in these when he gets these questions before they even he knows what news station they're at before they even ask the question. Oh, yep, this is going to be a great one.
Yeah, we were talking about that before we went on the air.
When is the last time a president has ever been smeared like this in the media?
I mean, you could say Obama, but he was never smeared this badly. They made sure of that.
No, and there was a special group of people, and I do mean a special group of people who, if you ever spoke against Obama, you were a racist.
Yeah. And since you brought that up, I gotta. Oh, hey, Dwayne, welcome. I gotta tell you this. Did you see today, Eric, that Coach Lou Holtz is going to get the Presidential Medal of Freedom?
Huh? I'm sorry.
That's all right. Did you see earlier today that Coach Lou Holtz is going to get the Presidential Medal of Freedom?
No, I didn't. I did hear Lou Holtz's name in the news, but I didn't know what it was for.
Yeah, he's going to get the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And I'll tell you one thing. The University of Notre Dame really disgusts me right now because they're basically president of the university, Father John Jenkins, he came out and said they're going to distance themselves from Lou Holtz because of him speaking at because he spoke at the Republican National Convention.
They're all doing it.
And what did he? All because
all doing it.
All because he questioned Joe Biden. Because he questioned Joe Biden's faith, and said things that are of good morals, Because I've listened to that speech a few times already, and I was trying to see if there was anybody that has a point. None. There's nothing that he said that should be deserving of the ridicule that he's getting right now. And there's even people, several people in the Notre Dame community that are, going against him. And it's just unbelievable. I mean, this is a guy who did put so much blood, sweat, and tears into this university for 11 seasons, won us our last national championship, coached our last Heisman Trophy winner, won us our last major bowl game, and the university is kicking him to the curb like a piece of fucking trash. But it's
all these universities are doing it. Syracuse University is awful.
But with Black Lives Matter demonstrations and all these kids and staff members, current coaches and whatnot doing it, they can celebrate all that stuff. They can speak against Donald Trump and Mike Pence all day long. They can get up and leave their graduation ceremony showing a great sign of disrespect. But no, you can't say anything against a candidate that is Democratic and liberal. So bullshit hypocrisy at its finest. Because I guarantee you, if he was slobbering and praising Joe Biden, he would be praised. He would be praised for getting the Presidential Medal of Freedom. So there's my rant for the video.
Well, then there was plenty of facts in that rant, Sean. Plenty of facts. But I had a point.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And let me tell you, and I can tolerate my team, such as Buffalo and Syracuse. Yeah, Don, you're right. It's. I mean, I feel like that's like putting Andre the Giant in the pit against poor kid in a wheelchair. I mean, that's like bringing a little weenie to a cockfight. So, anyway, what I was about to say was that honestly I can tolerate my teams, like, even though I don't support, like, I think Black Lives Matter, but I don't support the hate group Black Lives Matter. I don't support that. I support Black Lives. I don't support Black Lives Matter. I don't.
Yeah, and we made that clear the last couple of streams. When we speak against Black Lives Matter, we're not talking about Black lives in general.
No,
just
absolutely.
Just these organizations.
Even the Black lives and the lives that are supporting that movement, as long as they're not hurting anybody, their lives matter to me too. Their political beliefs doesn't make it to me where their lives don't matter, you know? But so honestly, like if my university's like comes out and supports Black Lives Matter, or like my team Buffalo supporting Black Lives Matter, I don't have a problem with that. But let me tell you, if I see or hear of any players of my favorite teams, or if I see names on the helmet of Jacob Blake, I will not support that team ever again in my life, because I refuse to support a team that will support a rapist.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy, I mean, Jacob Blake.
This girl gets raped, and what does she have to do? She has to look up and see the New Orleans Saints putting their name on his helmet of a fucking rapist. You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah. I mean, did nobody see the video? Nobody see the video at all where he's not complying with the cops. He's going back into his car to get a weapon, and it turned out that he did have from what I heard, he had a gun on the floorboard. He had a knife for sure. So what do you think is going to happen? Those cops don't know what his intentions are, or what he's going to do.
And to be honest, that stuff's all beside the point for me anyway. When I hear he's a rapist and he did something to a kid, let me tell you, I wish they'd have shot him dead. I wish he wouldn't have survived. I wish they would have given him a slow, painful death. His life doesn't matter. Jacob Blake's life doesn't matter, in my opinion. Not even my opinion, it's a fact. His life doesn't matter. He hurt another human being, and I'd say that whether he was white, black, doesn't matter. When I hear someone's a rapist and then I hear other people supporting him, don't care. Guess what? Just because you're black does not excuse that kind of crime against another human being. And that's not even political. That's not me being political. That is basic human morals.
There's nothing political about rape.
About not supporting Jacob Blake. There's nothing political about that.
When it comes to rapists, I share the same views as Ben Shapiro on this one. I think rapists should either be executed or castrated.
I think they should suffer and then die.
Oh yeah, they could cut their nuts off with a rusty butter knife.
But anyway, do we have viewers?
Yeah, we got 3. I believe Cowboys Longhorn's still here, Dwayne's still here, and I think the Don is too. And of course, I would expect more troll accounts to show up as well.
That's okay. I have fun with them. Anyway, because I love it when they say stupid things and then I come back at them and then they disappear.
The Don has a question for us. He wants to know if either of us listen to Joe Rogan. I think he's pretty fair. Yeah, I've heard his podcast before too, but I don't support the guy. I don't listen to him because anybody who calls Christianity a cult, like he has several times, no, I want nothing to do with that person.
I've tuned into Joe Rogan particularly, and I've never turned into him any other time. When he's interviewed Maynard James Keenan. Maynard James Keenan is the lead singer of my favorite band, Tool. And I'm sure a troll could probably watch that and be like, "Oh, look at that, a Tool who likes Tool." Ha ha. Well,
yeah, we'll just wait for it.
You do it. So, congratulations, you'll be on original if you say it. But anyways, no, Tool's a good band though, and I think I've told you, Sean, that I like Tool.
Yeah, you have.
But I tuned in particularly when the new album was coming out, and he's interviewed Maynard James Keenan a few times, and I've watched the whole show, the whole 3 hours I watched. But they didn't. All they talked about was wine and other shit. They hardly even talked about music.
Yeah, I think that's why they go on shows is to talk about something else other than music.
I enjoy that too. I enjoy the other side of it because anyone can sit down and talk with him about music. His affairs with the wine business, I found very interesting to listen to. And I forget everything else they talked about. They had a ton. Anyway, back to the schedule. We got completely sidetracked there.
Yeah.
South Florida. I have you at 2-0 already. I remember what I had. It's Wake Forest. That's going to be 3-0. Wake Forest. They had a pretty good team last year, but they lost some players to the transfer portal. Not sure about how I'm going to feel about. I mean, they have Sam Hartman. He's a good quarterback, and he could give some problems this year. But I think Wake is just a 7 or 8 win team. I don't think they're any threat to Notre Dame. Let me tell you though, that is it's a game where if you go on the road and you overlook them, that's a team that can surprise the shit out of you.
And real quick, to the Don, I think that dude's name is Steven Crowder.
Who's he talking about? What was his question?
His question was who the Change My Mind guy is. And he asked if we watch him at all.
No, but I've seen the memes all the time. Change My Mind. If you had us losing to Clemson and UNC. Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, he had us going 9-2.
So, man, now Craig, you already ruined the surprise for everyone who hadn't heard it yet.
Well, just do a short summary of it. Just break down the 2 losses. How about that?
Florida State has talent, new head coach. We'll see how the new head coach does. Not going to fix it in 1 year. Dub. Louisville, watch out. Heavy offense. Could surprise you for still a dub. At Pitt, their shit.
At Pitt, their shit. That's
Weird Notre Dame pick games in the past, i.e., 19-14 and 29-26 in triple overtime.
Yeah,
then the 28-21 loss from 2013.
Yeah, they've always given us fits.
It'll be close, but still a dub. Pitt's trash. Georgia Tech trash win. Here's a short summary. Clemson probably loss. Boston College win. Probably didn't get a lot of time to really work with his players. But that's probably it. At North Carolina, I think that's the upset loss that Notre Dame takes that they probably should really honestly win, but truthfully, I don't know though. Talent-wise, North Carolina's closing the gap with Notre Dame. They just had one of their best recruiting classes, and that team also just has a lot of returning experience from last year, and they only lost single-digit games. I think Notre Dame's going to take a loss in an upset game. I don't think they're just going to breeze through everybody but Clemson. I think that's where they take it. And then Syracuse at home, I think you beat us. We're never going to be there talent-wise.
Speaking of that game, I heard that it's not for sure yet, but they could actually let fans into that game.
Syracuse?
Yeah. I didn't read the article. I didn't read the article. I don't know why, but yeah.
I know that South Carolina Gamecocks canceled their season.
But South Carolina canceled?
Thought they did. South Carolina.
No, I thought the SEC was playing.
Yeah, but I think South Carolina made an individual university decision.
Let's see. I don't think they've heard it doesn't look like they've canceled their season. They've just had 4 guys test positive for COVID.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's a travesty. 4 people got COVID. None of them will die probably.
Yeah.
None of them are going to die probably, guaranteed.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that says that they've canceled. So all of the all of the SEC teams are they should be in a ready to go mode.
Yeah, no, I've heard that the Big Ten might change their mind. Is that a rumor or is that?
No, they've been talking about it.
And then who was the other conference that pussied out? The
Pac-12.
Oh, they're not coming back. I hope they don't. All those West Coast pedophile supporting assholes can all stay. Wasn't California? By the way, did you know the guy trying to pass those laws in California's name is Scott Wiener?
Oh, God.
I put my wiener in little kids, so now I'm trying to make laws to protect me.
Oh, wow.
Wasn't California supposed to fall off the fucking country already from an earthquake?
I thought so. That's what
Can't we and I'm going to offend somebody because they're going to be like, I have relatives that live in North Carolina or that live in California. Well, guess what? Just because I say it doesn't mean it's going to happen. So,
well, according to the movie Escape from L.A., the Southern California was supposed to collapse into the sea, become its own separate island.
We need to hit the fault lines with a hammer. So that way everything just collapses. One more earthquake, maybe. Maybe they'll take Pelosi with them.
Yeah, and she'll have a nice hairdo to go along with it when she makes the trip.
Yeah, they should. Yeah. Wasn't Nancy Pelosi supposed to croak off long ago? How the hell is she still alive? How long has she been in politics?
Like 50 years.
Joe, man, I don't hate Joe Biden. I just feel sorry for him, honestly. But
It's a guy with if it's a guy with dementia being used.
man, like, the people who like maybe slightly wouldn't feel bad if they croaked off just because they're like terrible human beings in Pelosi. How come the good politicians go? Why can't why don't the bad politicians, they get to stay as long as they want? The good politicians, they shot. Like, I'm not implying shoot politicians, but like Kennedy and Lincoln and all these good politicians have been shot, but they don't shoot any of the bad ones. I'm not saying they shoot them. Bad idea. Don't get any ideas out there, you trigger happy people. But I'd like to know, why do you do it to why Lincoln?
Because those presidents infringe on the people who are controlling the show. He's infringing on their agenda, so they got to get rid of him.
Yeah, and then they hire someone to go shoot him. I bet LBJ had something to do with Kennedy. I don't have direct proof. Otherwise, they probably would have taken him down already. Here, well, Cowboys Longhorns. How about this? Before I take a hammer to the fault line, I'm gonna wait till you get your relatives out of there, and then we'll pull the trigger.
Yeah, 30. How about a 30-day grace period?
Yeah, we'll give you 30. You have a 30-day eviction notice.
Hey, speaking of Cowboys Longhorns, he had a comment earlier that I wanted to address, and since you brought up that Scott Wiener, I know I'm like an adolescent kid laughing at a joke. He had a comment up here before when referring to Lou Holtz. He said, "Yeah, that's sickening. A guy does so much for a university and then gets trashed out just because of his political views. Same kind of garbage at UT." Cowboys Longhorns. I'm not trashing Texas. But did you hear about the professor that teaches there that's now pretty much promoting pedophilia? Name is Thomas K. Hubbard,
a.k.a. Thomas Wiener.
Well, no, this is what it says. This is from statesman.com. A University of Texas professor who was the subject of widespread criticism for his teachings on adult male relationships with underage boys in antiquity is suing a student who he says spread false statements about him.
He just doesn't want to get arrested for fucking his students.
Thomas K. Hubbard, a longtime professor at UT's classics department, filed a federal lawsuit in Austin this week alleging that UT sophomore Sarah Blackmore and 10 other unknown individuals listed as John Does committed libel against him by making and distributing a flyer calling for his removal. And, well, I'll just post the link to the article for you guys to read. How about that? Here you go. And Cowboys Longhorn, that is not a bad mouth on the University of Texas. So it's a bad mouth on this particular guy.
Let me tell you, I'll bad mouth my university. The director of athletics is out there apologizing to the black community for what?
I saw the statement. Notre Dame's been doing it too, so.
And then the disgraceful reporting in the Dino press conferences. Now, Dino didn't give him anything, and they asked him about Jacob Blake, and Dino said we all had a conversation about it. I'm just genuinely going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're not in support of Jacob Blake. I'm going to hold out hope that I don't have to hear anything, because that's going to create a serious internal conflict with me.
Well, what I'd like to know is this going to happen every time a black guy gets shot by police? That we just automatically call him innocent because he's black? Really? I mean, nobody would give two shits if this was a white guy or a Chinese guy, a Mexican guy, whatever. But if it's a black guy, it makes front page news. The cops are made out to be criminals, these murderers who just killed an innocent black guy for no reason. No, the guy was not innocent. They were called there by citizens who reported him. He was at a house that he shouldn't have been at. He fights with the cops, goes into his car, and tries to pull out a weapon. Just comply. I don't see why all these guys that started the BLM movement and all this, if they had just complied and not fought with the cops, they'd still be alive. I guarantee it. Which Jacob Blake didn't even die.
Yep.
I mean,
too bad. That's too bad.
Look, and here's the thing too: if they would just if they would just comply, yeah, they would go to jail. And you know what? If it turned out that the cops were wrong, well, guess what? They can get a big ass lawsuit out of it. But no, they'd rather try to be tough guys, fight with the cops. This quote, pardon my French, fuck the police mentality. Got to be Mr. Tough Guy and fight with them. Just comply and you'll be fine.
This was so sad, Sean. We were in the mood to talk football, and then that one troll had to come on here and completely derailed our peaceful evening.
I know. We can get back to that real quick, but I just want to finish saying, cops do not just get up in the morning and say, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go shoot me a black man today. That's not how it works. I mean, are there racists that are in the police department across the country? I'm sure there are. Not denying that. But if you think that's how the majority of police officers think, then you're a freaking idiot. But yeah, let's get back to football. I mean, we can't let these idiots that show up ruin it for us. But so yeah, I guess it's my turn now, right, to break down your guys' schedule.
Yeah, we had like 0 viewers. I think even Craig might have been gone by the time you did it last time. So you can do the full breakdown. I kind of did a pretty abbreviated one, but I'd like to hear. I actually don't remember yours, so I'd like to hear it again.
Well, I'll try. I mean, like I said, mine's not as in depth as you are.
Mine wasn't. Georgia Tech trash.
Well, I'm talking about the original.
The original one was. I was in a different form that night. Tonight, I am just. You can see.
Right, I gotcha. All right, so I'll just do the best that I can. So your guys' first game is on the road at North Carolina. I think that game's going to be a loss just simply for the fact of what we talked about how decent of a coach Mac Brown is, and he did pull in the best recruiting class that North Carolina has ever seen, and as far as football goes, they've got plenty of guys coming back. I think it might have been you, Craig, who said, wasn't it you, Craig, that said last week that North Carolina lost 3 of their starting defensive backfield, like a couple safeties and 1 of their corners, which could be a big difference in how things go. But regardless of that, North Carolina has the upper edge right now. I mean, they're starting the year at number 18 in the country. I think that's going to be a loss for Syracuse. Next week, you guys are on the road again to take on Pittsburgh at Heinz Field. I think what you told me, Eric, before we went on the air is if you guys can find a way to run the ball, then I think that could definitely be the difference in this game. And so I think it'll be close, but I think you guys get the victory over Pittsburgh. And actually, these next couple of games, I could see you guys winning. Actually, the next 3, actually. Georgia Tech, they're transitioning into a new offense that they're not used to running because they're not running. See, people forget they're not running the option anymore. They're moving to, I believe, an RPO offense. But like you said, they're trash. So I have you guys winning that game and this is at home too. So I have you guys.
There's no talent on that team yet. They were recruiting. If you look at everyone that Georgia Tech recruits had offers from during the Paul Johnson era, it was all FCS schools, directional schools. I mean, there were no serious, teams looking at them. So
I mean, the biggest threat they had was at one point was Calvin Johnson, Megatron.
Yeah, Megatron.
And I'm surprised that someone like him would want to go to a school like Georgia Tech that is option heavy.
That's what I thought about these big receivers that would go to LSU for the longest time. Like when Les Miles was there, I was like, what a waste. They don't throw the ball.
Yeah, and Craig was telling me that on a side note, LSU's top wide receiver is opted out. That's crazy. I didn't even know about that. So anyway, the next game you guys are back home or still at home, take on the Duke Blue Devils. I think that's a win because Duke is they've come along all right as a football team, as a football program, but it's not like they have what's his name, the quarterback.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones, that's it. It's not like they have him. So I see you guys winning that one as well. Next week after that, you're back still at home. This is part of a 3-game home stretch to take on Liberty. Now, I know you had a nice breakdown of Liberty. I don't know too much about them, but they're a team that's still trying to make an adjustment from the FCS to the FBS level. So I can see you guys beating them. I don't know too much about them. I know you said they have their coach is Hugh Freeze, right?
Yep.
Not a bad coach, but yeah.
He's a cheater. Pumpkin eater.
Okay.
I still love it. His own offensive lineman on the day of the draft comes out and is like, yeah, he paid us. Yep, I was paid the whole time.
Paid with what? It depends what he was paid with. If he was paid with,
he walked out the door, and he left a nice smelly fart as he exited.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Fart as he exited. Oh yeah, he paid us. I wonder what must have happened that made him so angry that he ruined Ole Miss football for the foreseeable future.
I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. So I have you.
I'd love to know. Anyway.
So I have you guys. I have you guys at 4-1 to start the season. Now the next week after that, on the road at Clemson. I'm sorry. I do not see you guys winning that game.
Damn it, we're winning. Pulling the upset.
I mean, it would
win it 3-0.
It would take I'm sorry, but it would take a biblical miracle for you guys to win that game. I mean, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it happen. Of course, I'd love to see it happen.
That's going to be the second coming. Syracuse is winning.
So, all right. So it's
going to take a lot of effort for Clemson to pull off an upset against Syracuse.
I think you guys lose by at least 4 scores. So still, though, 4-2 start's not bad for you guys. So the next week after that, you're back home in the Carrier Dome to take on Wake Forest. I mean, Wake Forest, they have a better team than what people give them credit for, like you said. I think it'll be a close game, but I see Wake Forest coming out on top in that one. Not by much, though. I think it'll kind of be a back and forth game. Boston College at the Carrier Dome. That's a team that needs a lot of work, so I can see you guys beating them. Probably like a 10-4. Hold on. Excuse me.
Just to address Craig, yep, and Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence and every Clemson wide receiver is going to slip in the shower and break their bone, break their leg, and they're not going to be able to show up. And then we're going to win in a hurricane, 3-0. And Cowboys Longhorns. That's probably what Joe Biden's prediction would be for Clemson, except that he'd be predicting them to go 10-0, but he's probably has all sorts of dementia and dyslexia, and he'd say 0-10.
Well, actually, Cowboys, it would be 0-11 because the ACC does play one non-conference game. I don't know if you knew that or not. So let's see. So I have you guys beating Boston College. Won't be by much. So like I said, about probably 10 to 14 points. So
yeah, they're a team in transition themselves, and the issue with first year coaches this season is that you kind of that first set of spring practice, that's very pivotal in getting acquainted with your team and getting all. And when you have all of this, there is so much new. There's so much new for Boston College coming into this year. This was probably the worst year this could happen. And yeah, you could say all the teams and all the schools are dealing with the same thing, but it's a little bit different situationally for each team, depending on just how new everything is.
Yeah, exactly. So right now I have you guys at 5-3 on the year. The next week you're on the road to take on the Louisville Cardinals. Louisville has just too high-powered of an offense, and really what a lot of this comes down to from everybody's perspective is we got to see all these teams on the field yet. But I know the kind of offense Louisville runs. I see them beating you guys. Score-wise, I don't know. So 5-4 so far. The next week is NC State, and I know when I projected this game before, I wasn't too sure about it, but NC State is coming off like a 4-win season, something like that, I believe.
Yeah.
So they took some lumps last year. I don't really know where they're at as a program. I do think that you guys at Syracuse are probably a little more established than NC State is. So that's a game I could see you guys winning, actually. Because I think I projected that game to be a loss before, but thinking about it, that's a game I think you guys could win.
Should have won it last year. Their only ACC win was against us.
Okay, so now you have more motivation. Then now I definitely think that'll be a win because you guys will remember that and be pissed off.
Donating victories to teams in need since 2000.
So then the last game is December 5th in South Bend against us. I mean, I'm never going to pick us to lose anyway.
Don't be a homer, Sean. You know Syracuse is winning.
No, I'm never going to pick against the Irish. I'm 100.
We're coming in. We're winning. We're gonna win. We're gonna take the NC State route. We're gonna send a hurricane.
Not like
we're gonna block a punt and take it for the end zone. Take it for a touchdown.
Not with a foot of snow on the ground. You're not.
Foot of snow would actually be better. I don't know if you saw the. This wasn't Syracuse, but do you remember the Bills versus the Colts in 2017? The rains or the snowstorm.
Yeah,
the snow. We're gonna win it just like that.
Yeah, but that's the NFL. This is college.
Still football.
That's true. That's true. And I've thought about that. If they're going to let fans into the game, I was thinking about going, but I'm like, no. I'd rather watch it with a nice cup of warm apple cider and do the reaction video with you that we have in mind.
That's right. We have a lot of we always have a lot of fun. It's a lot of entertaining. If it's not political, it's hopefully has comedic value.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one thing to get people riled up when we talk politics, but if they see it, I've never done a reaction video, never done one, and now we have a chance to do a live stream where we're both watching the game live, and just my luck, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a delay on one of our ends, whether you catch the play first or I catch it first. One of us is going to be cheering, and I'm like, I'll probably be like, what's he cheering for? And then 15 seconds later, I'll see what happens.
Hold on a minute. I think Craig, I'm looking at you.
Craig is awesome. Craig is the shit.
Looking at you, you caught the Joe Biden dyslexia.
Yeah, I know he's wrong. It's only going to be 60, not 65.
Maybe in basketball, but
hey, what happened the last time we came to the Carrier Dome?
Might score 6.
Hey, what happened the last time we came to the Carrier Dome?
the last time Notre Dame football came to the Carrier Dome?
No, basketball.
Basketball.
We beat you.
I believe it was 88-87 on some kind of miracle.
No, it was like 51-49 us. Unless I'm thinking of the season before.
You're thinking of the season before.
Okay, because it was like, I think it was like.
We have 2 miracle Notre Dame victories.
Okay, that was the year before. My apologies.
That was one of the Notre Dame miracle victories, and then the next one came the following year. I remember the games. I watched both of them. They were both miracle victories. The other one, I'm trying to think of Notre Dame Syracuse since joining the ACC. I think I can remember them all. First year was when we went 25-0, and Syracuse beat Notre Dame 61-55. It was one of those weird Mike Bray years where they were just kind of down. I mean, Mike Bray has he'll have like 3 or 4 good teams in a row, and then he'll have a transition point, which, so we took down, and it wasn't a blowout. Syracuse really wasn't. We won a lot of games, but we did not win by much. And a lot of times we won by a lot of miracles ourselves.
I'm sorry, but I'll never forget. I think this was still the Big East days, but we upset you guys when you were number 1 when you came to South Bend.
Right. Yep. I remember Jack Cooley, the throwdown, the exclamation point.
And I'm sorry, there was no miracle about that one. I mean, that was just.
Nope. I am not gonna. Nope. And Notre Dame has taken down a lot of number 1 teams in that stadium. I believe that I remember the demographic before the game. They had taken down they were 8-20 versus number 1 teams at home, and honestly, that's pretty good. I mean,
well, let's think.
You make it 8-20 and think, well, that's not great, but against number 1 teams, that's very good.
Well, you go back to the Digger Phelps days. I mean, they ended UCLA's an 88-game winning streak. And that was at South Bend. They took down who was it? They took down number 1 Marquette at home. Well, actually, I don't know if all these games were at home. I know that UCLA game was at home. I think the Marquette game was at home. There was one year they took down number 1 Virginia with when Ralph Sampson was there, but I think that was at Virginia though. And then of course there was 1987, I believe it was. They took down number 1 North Carolina. That was at the Joyce Center. There was sometime before that they took down number 1 DePaul.
Yeah, and man, DePaul was number 1 at one time. That's crazy to think about.
Well, this is in the 70s we're talking here.
DePaul has been DePaul for years now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I wonder if they've created that new adjective down there. It was just appalling.
Probably.
Oh, Craig said water boy Bobby Boucher is going to score. Bobby Boucher didn't play for Notre Dame.
South Central Louisiana State. And then Craig says, I remember when Notre Dame led.
Boucher will be scoring no touchdowns in that game. He didn't play at Notre Dame.
Then Craig says, I remember when Notre Dame, led by Coach Digger Phelps, they beat Cause, or I think he means Cuse, on a last-second bucket, and Digger was dancing. I'll have to look that up.
Well, anyway, back to the ACC, and then I remember one of Syracuse's worst teams that I can remember beat one of Notre Dame's best teams. They went on the road, and one of our reserve players, B.J. Johnson, had an outstanding game. He had 21 points. That was the game of his life, and we had already had a postseason ban at that point.
Right. I think I know what game you're talking about.
65-60. Yep. And we went on the road and beat Notre Dame, even though it was an upset. It was just a college ban. It was just an upset in the regular season. Those happen all the time. So I'm not really going to beat my chest too much about it. But we're going to talk about series history, I'll bring it up. But anyway, then on to 2015, the Cuse versus Notre Dame ownage in the ACC continued when they took down Notre Dame 81-66 at home in a game that was every bit of as indicative as the final score said.
Yeah,
I believe it was like 44-24 at half. They made some kind of like 75-foot shot to make it 44-27, but we absolutely rolled Notre Dame in that game. Sorry.
I don't feel too bad about that because we still went on to get to the Elite Eight and came within an eyelash of getting to the Final Four.
That was the previous year. That was the year that Syracuse upset you at home, which
That's right.
It really didn't end up being that big of a deal in retrospect.
That's right. Yeah, that was the 14-15 season because I had just started a new job at that point.
Yeah, I think that's one of Notre Dame's best basketball teams they ever put on the court. They won the ACC that year.
Yeah, they did. They took down
some really, really good competition to do that. I think that's probably one of Notre Dame's best basketball teams they've ever put on the court.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, to go to Tobacco Road when they were still having the ACC tournament there, to take down both Duke and North Carolina in their own backyard. I mean, that says a lot right there. It says a lot about the coach and how good Mike Brey is. But no, of course, the best team that Notre Dame ever put on the court was the '78 Final Four team.
Oh yeah.
Because we only have one Final Four in our history.
Well, Craig, every year except for 2015, 16, and 16, 17. Other than that, we played pretty hard-fought games because 16, 17 year was, I think, in my opinion, it was probably Syracuse's worst team that they put on the court in the Boeheim era. That year, 16, 17, we took a 33-point home loss to St. John's. We lost to a really bad Georgetown team. We lost to an absolutely pitiful Connecticut team, and we got rolled just about every time we went on the road. And the Notre Dame game that year was no different. They beat us like 84-66, but even that was an understatement. That game was an absolute ass kicking. I remember I actually have a video up on my channel of me after the game saying about how that was just a flat out disgrace. I'm pretty sure I watched players quit during the game. I was disgusted during that whole year. But Notre Dame absolutely whooped our ass. But everyone did. So, I mean.
Yeah, I'm not ignoring you here, but I'm not trying to go back to the politics thing here, but there's a group on Facebook that I'm a part of, this private Notre Dame group. I'm not going to give the name of it because I respect it, but they posted about Coach Holtz getting the Presidential Medal of Freedom and all that. And there's a few people that don't like that. One I'd like to call out right now. The guy's name is James Fitzgerald. And he says to me, "'Tis better to keep silent and be thought a fool than speak and remove all doubt." So I don't know if he's talking to me or what.
We're always going to have a few assholes. Hopefully, as long as the majority of the people in that group are okay, you're always going to have a few assholes. But anyway, what was it? Oh, yeah. So Notre Dame whooped our ass. And then, what was it? 17-18. I believe that was the 51-49. And then 18-19, I believe we actually went on the road to Notre Dame and won 64-62. So, yeah, very hard-fought games, like Craig said, especially in recent memory. In that Kentucky game, I honestly thought I think Notre Dame should have won that game. And then Kentucky went on to go get screwed against Wisconsin. So
yeah, against Frank Kaminsky, Frank the Tank.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure there was also a Kentucky player that was on that accidentally got on the mic and said "F that N-word" when he was
Wow.
addressing Frank Kaminsky. There's video of it still out there, I bet. Of course, he ended up going on to social media and apologizing. You know, at least the social justice warriors held him accountable for that one. So
yeah,
I'll give credit there. Everyone pretty much got on that, and he had to apologize and everything.
Yeah, one second here, dude. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean to just stop talking here. I'm just reading this post, and it's unbelievable all the people that are bad mouthing Coach Holtz.
I wish I could say it surprises me, but it doesn't. But I believe that's the last win we had over Notre Dame was 64-62.
Yeah, I knew it was a close one.
But anyway, I'm gonna get off for the night.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's my fault. I got caught up.
I actually have to get going right now. I'm being summoned. So.
Oh, summoned by the missus.
Yes. So anyway.
You don't want to piss off your missus. I can tell you that much.
You have a good night.
Yeah, you too, dude.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. See ya. All right, everyone. I'm probably out for the night myself. Good that we kept it to an hour and 12 minutes. So on that note, everybody take it easy and God bless.